Yo, what's going on everybody, District here, and today we're going to be going over how you can start spam inspecting your heirlooms, or even if you don't even have an heirloom, we're going to be showing you how to do that whether you're on PC or whether you're on console playing mouse and keyboard or controller, so that your gameplay just is a little bit more interesting if you're a streamer, so you can have just a little bit more fun as you're playing. First, what we're going to do is we're going to hop onto the PC side of things. If you want to figure out how to do it for console, if you're a console player, we're going to have that linked in the description down below, or just scroll along the timeline of this video and the chapters should be there for you. So to start things off for the PC players, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on controller support. It'll be right here. Now, important, you need to make sure that your controller is plugged in. There it is, plugged in. And if you still don't see your controller layout, you're going to want to make sure that you click on the manage gear icon. From here, head on over to your properties, controller, and inside of controller, you're going to see controller general settings. Click on that. Then we're going to make sure that we check off whatever controller that we're playing with. So for me, I'm using an Elite Series 2 right now, so I'm going to check off the Xbox controller configurator support right here. You're on PlayStation, click PlayStation. You're on Switch, click Switch, and then make sure your controller's plugged in and you see it pop up right here. Once you see that, you're all set. I'm gonna exit, and then in the same window, you're gonna see override for Apex Legends. You wanna make sure that you enable your Steam input. So change it from disabled to enabled. Now right here, you're gonna see changing requires restart of the game. So make sure that you're doing this without your game already on. That way, when you just load it up, it will be all ready for you. You don't have to close it and then open it back up again. Once you do that, you should see controller layout. So we're gonna open up that. Now that we're in our controller layout, I'm gonna just change my settings to a default template just so that we can do it from scratch. And now that we got a default template, we're gonna click on edit layout. Now, something that's important to understand is that the inspect on controller by default is mapped to your left D-pad. So we're going to change that a little bit later into the video, but for now, we're going to click on D-pad. From here, like I said, it's on the left D-pad. So we're going to click on left D-pad, and we're going to change this to our keyboard inspect key. So remember, this is for PC players. If you're on console, go to the console version a little bit later in this video. So we're going to change it to the N key. Now, the reason why we're changing it to the N key is because when you're on a controller and you want to inspect, you actually have to hold the D-pad. Versus on mouse and keyboard, all you have to do is tap the key and then we'll automatically inspect for you. So you can start spamming a lot quicker using a keyboard input rather than a controller input. Now we're going to take this one step further. Obviously, if we hit the N key right now, it's going to inspect once. It's going to go through a full cycle. If you want to hit it over and over and over again, you can spam it that way, but we're also going to add in automated spam for us. That way we just have to hold onto a button and then it's going to continue to inspect over and over and over again. Now we're going to do this by clicking on the gear icon. We're going to head on over to our settings, and then we're going to click hold to repeat turbo. We're going to turn that on. Now by default, it's going to be at 100. The lower you go, the faster it inspects. So we're going to actually go just a little bit higher because 100 is actually really fast, believe it or not. So we're going to put it anywhere from 130 to 150. I like it about the 140-ish range. And then we're just going to adjust the slider and then hit done. Back. And now that we're in the range, as you can see, I can hit that left D-pad. I don't have to hold it, just a quick tap and it will inspect. And if I start running forward and then I hit inspect, we'll go through a full cycle. If I hold inspect, it'll go through an automated cycle of just non-stop spamming, just like that. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, as you can see, I'm hitting my left D-pad to do this, which is not really ideal, especially if you have to run, look, spam, and do a whole bunch of different stuff, right? That's not exactly ideal. It's going to take away from your gaming experience because you're having to stretch your fingers across your controller to hit D-pad while you're hitting all your different buttons and joysticks. Not ideal. So a way that we're going to change this, if you have an Elite Series 2 controller, all you're going to do is you're going to go into your controller settings and you're going to swap your left D-pad to your right bumper. If you don't have an Elite controller and you can't do those settings in the controller software itself, it's totally cool. You're just going to head on over to your controller. You're going to go button layout, and then you're gonna go customized. Then you're gonna come on over to your toggle fire mode or your left D-pad. You're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna change it to your right bumper. And then basically all that's gonna do is it's gonna swap your ping to your left D-pad, and it's gonna swap your inspect, which was on left D-pad, to your right bumper. Now that might not be exactly what you want. Maybe you want something a little bit easier so that you can still hit ping quite easy. I personally just use the D-pad to ping. It doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. And that right there is how you're gonna spam inspect if you're on controller PC. And now we're gonna show how you can set up your spam inspect if you're on console using just a regular old controller. Now, if I come back here and I hit my left D-pad, you can see as I'm clicking it, it's actually not registering, but if I hold it, it will inspect. Like that. Now, this is an issue for the console players. Obviously, you're not gonna have an option to like hit it as quickly, unfortunately, but there still is a way for you to inspect your heirlooms while you're running around the map. And by doing that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna head on over into our controller settings. Inside your controller settings, your survival slot is automatically gonna be turned on. This basically makes it so that whenever you hold inspect, it will take out that survival slot item. So whether it's a mobile respawn, whether it's a mobile redeploy, or whether it's a, what's it called? A heat shield, there we go, figured it out, right? That's basically just gonna drop those survival slot items. So to get around that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna head on over to our controller settings, head on over to survival slot button, and we're gonna turn that off. If you still wanna use that survival slot item, all you have to do is enter your inventory or your backpack, and then just click on that item. So if you're trying to use these things in a pinch, it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult, but it's still possible. I basically do this myself all the time. So now that that's that, all we're going to do is we're just gonna run, and we're just gonna hold that inspect button, and there you go. Now you can inspect and spin your kunai, or you're playing someone else, maybe like Octane. You can spin your or flip your butterfly knife as you run around. Now, for all the people who actually don't have heirlooms, totally cool. There's still an option for you guys to inspect without having that very valuable $500 kunai, right? All we're going to do is we're gonna hold down our aim button and then inspect, hold that inspect button. So for example, let's just say I'm running around and I'm Pathfinder. You can still inspect by sliding or by jumping. Right? You can't do it while you're sprinting, but if you jump while you're sprinting or slide while you're sprinting, you can inspect. Or as you're running, hold down on your left trigger and then inspect like that. And now you can inspect while you're running and sliding about. But if you slide, inspect, and you hit jump, or if you're just inspecting, jump, or like that, or you inspect and you jump, it's just gonna kind of kick you out of that inspect. So just keep that in mind. But you still can hold that left trigger, inspect, crack your knuckles over and over and over again like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all. That's all you got to do if you want to start inspecting, whether it's cracking your knuckles if you can't afford an heirloom, or if you haven't been fortunate enough to unlock one yet, or if you have an heirloom and you want to spin it and spam it and just flip it around. That's all you got to do. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully it makes your gameplay just a little bit more interesting, and it helps you enjoy the game just a little bit more. I know for myself, whenever I start playing people like Pathfinder or Newcastle, being able to crack my knuckles makes the game just that much more fun, because I'm usually playing Wraith simply because you just get to spin that kunai over and over and over again. Now, if you have been thinking about switching to PC so that you can learn how to tap strafe like this, right? Or maybe you want to learn how to do the, kunai or, spam inspects. If you want to get all those cool PC aspects of Apex Legends, better FPS, better input, playing with better players, you want to start competing in bigger and better tournaments. Or maybe you want to get into content creating and playing on Xbox isn't quite cutting it because input delay is a massive issue, and just kind of exporting your content from your Xbox to your phone. Good news for you. We actually just partnered with Apex Gaming PCs, one of the best computer building companies in the world. They just got back to me with my massive beast of a PC build. That's kind of why all the back here is really messy with boxes and stuff. We've been trying to organize our new room, but because we are partnered, they actually offered our community up to $250 off all of our builds. So if you guys have been trying to switch from console to PC, or maybe you're on PC right now, you're looking for an upgrade, you guys can save up to $250 by using code DISTRICT. Keep that in mind if you guys are interested in switching to PC. Consider Apex Gaming PCs. Also, for the people who maybe don't quite know what PC they should be building, we also came up with 3 pre-built PCs dedicated for Apex content creation, and then a beast computer dedicated for content creation at a massive level. That entry-level PC is going to have all those components you need to get into PC gaming at a comfortable FPS so that the game doesn't feel clunky and stiff and just gross in general. It's going to have nice graphics for you, a PC that you're going to be able to compete with at a higher level. Then we also built a content creating PC, which is going to help you get into content creating, recording, streaming, editing without any hiccups. Super, super comfortable PC to play on. It's actually the PC that I was recently playing on a couple days ago, right? But the PC that I used to go from 0 subs to 130,000 subs, that is the PC that is in our content creating PC lineup. And then also that last PC, that Predator PC, is a beast of a computer dedicated to giving you the best performance that you could imagine. Now that's all for today's video, so if you enjoyed that guide on how to spam crack your knuckles, how to inspect your heirlooms, and just basically how to set that up if you're on controller PC, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot as a creator, and it's totally free. And it helps you out because you get to see more stuff. It lets YouTube know that you want to continue to see these types of videos. That's all for today. We got more stuff coming later this week. See ya.